Hi, this PowerPoint is about questions. Why to ask questions, how to ask questions, and what kind of questions to ask to our students or children. A good question should be relevant, which means it should focus on the material covered in your lesson and should align well with the overall learning objectives of your lesson. It should be clear. A good question is framed in a clear, easily understandable language without any vagueness. Students should understand what is wanted from the question, even when they don't know the answer. It should be concise. A good question is usually crisp and concise. It omits any unnecessary information. Short questions are easier to listen and to understand, especially with lower elementary students. Questions should be purposeful. A question without a definite purpose has no value. The purpose helps evaluate the question against some set benchmarks. If you don't know why you are asking that specific question to your students or children, then simply delete it. A good question is interesting. Ask these simple questions to yourself. Is it worth asking? Is it worth answering? It should stimulate thinking. A good question requires people to think through and recall the concepts inquired before. Instead of asking, "Can you survive without water?" you can ask, "What are the benefits of water?" In the second question, your students have to research and inquire about the benefits of water. It should be single dimensional. A good question focuses on one dimension at a time. If there are multiple ideas to evaluate, it is better to split them into multiple questions, especially with lower elementary students. It should be open-ended. Open-ended questions allow your students to include more information, including feelings, attitudes, and understanding of the subject. An example of an open-ended question is the following: Tell me about your relationship with your brother. Here you have some samples of questions. What do you think about what was said? How would you agree or disagree with this? Are there any other similar answers you can think of? How might you convince us that your way is the best way? How did you prove that? Show your work. How might you argue against this? I hope this PowerPoint gave you an idea about why and how to ask questions to your students or children if you are a parent, and what kind of questions to ask.